What's really happening in Paris? Why is the world suddenly obsessed with every second of Taehyung's movements? Are you ready to uncover the full, uncut truth? Watch until the end, hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe because what you're about to read will change the way you see Taehyung forever. Is Paris still just the city of love, or has it become the beating heart of a global obsession, centered around one man? As the Eiffel Tower continues to pierce the skyline, a different kind of energy pulses. Beneath the clouds, one not built from steel and stone, but from the electrifying presence of Kim Taehyung. And as the internet continues to erupt with whispers, reactions, and full-blown hysteria, only one question remains. Have you seen the full videos yet? The moment Taehyung's silhouette was caught on camera in the Parisian streets, everything changed. It was no longer about fashion, music, or celebrity appearances. It became something more intimate, more mythical, like watching a modern-day fairy tale unfold frame by frame. Each clip, each second, felt choreographed by fate. And for those who have watched the full collection of footage, now spreading like wildfire across every corner of the digital world, it's clear something much deeper is going on. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. The way he walked, the subtle glance toward a passerby, the slight curl of his lips as he entered that hidden garden behind a wrought iron gate. It all told a story words couldn't. Was he hiding something? Was he sending a message to someone? Or was this an unfiltered glimpse into Taehyung's raw essence? Stripped from stages and spotlights, one video showed him strolling beneath the golden light of Paris at dusk. No entourage, no flash, just Taehyung and a city holding its breath. The camera shook slightly as the person filming tried to stay hidden. Yet even in the grainy lens, the magic was undeniable. Viewers replayed it thousands of times. What was he thinking as he looked out over the Seine? Who was he texting? Why did he pause at the end of the bridge and stare into the distance, as if waiting for someone to appear? Another clip captured him laughing, truly, laughing on a quiet street corner while sipping something warm from a small paper cup. The laughter was soft but real, disarming in its sincerity. But who made him laugh? No one else was visible in the frame. Theories erupted. Fans analyzed the sound in the background, enhanced audio, slowed it down. Some claimed they heard a familiar voice. Others insisted it was the moment he received a life-changing call. But the mystery lingers, unsolved. And then came the most talked-about video of all. Taehyung in the rain. Paris was quiet that night. A drizzle had begun to fall, and most tourists had retreated indoors. But not him. He walked alone, umbrella closed, letting the rain soak his dark coat, his hair slicked down against his face. Someone captured it all from across the street. His expression was unreadable, serious, intense, contemplative. The video hit millions of views in minutes. People sobbed watching it, claimed they saw something spiritual in his eyes. Others speculated he was grieving, or saying goodbye, or simply allowing himself to feel for the first time in a long time. But no one could confirm the truth. Why does every second of Taehyung in Paris feel like poetry in motion? Is it the city itself, the backdrop of elegance and nostalgia? Or is it Taehyung, who transforms even the simplest movement into something sacred? Some videos were taken without him noticing. Others, it seemed, he allowed. A passing glance at the camera, a knowing smile, as if he wanted to be seen, not as an idol, but as a person, vulnerable, curious, alive. What was he looking for in Paris? Healing, inspiration, or someone? Fans began connecting the dots. Locations matched lyrics from songs. Street names resembled titles of old love poems. Was Taehyung on a personal journey? A secret creative pilgrimage? A hidden romantic escape? Or maybe, just maybe, he was leaving breadcrumbs for us to follow, guiding us closer to a truth we're not ready to face. The full videos have now become digital relics. People trade them, archive them, memorize the timelines. Some have even tried to map his route across Paris based on timestamps and shadows. Yet despite all the analysis, the emotion remains untouched. That's what makes these moments so precious. Not the facts, but the feelings they ignite. As the days pass, more footage surfaces. Taehyung in a museum, gazing at a painting longer than expected. Taehyung playing with a street dog. Taehyung pausing at a flower shop, staring at roses with something unspoken in his expression. Every clip tells its own story. But together they form a mosaic. a masterpiece of silence, mystery, and unspoken truths. Who is Taehyung in Paris? Not the global superstar, not the idol, but the man behind the mask. And watching these videos feels like being handed a key to a door he's never opened before. Not for the press, not for fame, but maybe for us. So here's the real question. What are we really witnessing? A spiritual rebirth? A farewell? A declaration of love cloaked in subtle gestures and midnight walks? You have to see the full videos to understand. You have to feel them, not just watch them. Because once you do, you'll never see Taehyung the same way again. Don't just scroll past. Don't let this moment become another passing trend. Dive into every second. Let your heart race. Let your thoughts spiral. Let your emotions guide you. And most importantly, talk to us. Comment below with your theories. Like if your heart skipped a beat watching him disappear into the Paris night. And subscribe because this is only the beginning. The line between reality and dream seems to blur in each passing second of those full-length videos. Some have called it cinematic, others claim it feels too perfect to be coincidence. But what if it's neither? What if what we're seeing is a raw, unscripted unraveling of a soul in motion? Caught, not in the glare of staged lights, but in the tender gaze of the world's most watchful eyes? And yet, there's a part of Taehyung that remains just out of reach. In one of the most haunting clips, he enters a quiet Parisian alleyway around twilight. The street is empty except for a lone bicycle resting against an old stone wall. He pauses there, doesn't move. The camera zooms in just enough to capture his expression, soft, searching, maybe even heartbroken. He looks up as if expecting something, or someone. Then he slowly exhales and turns away. What did he see? Who didn't arrive? Speculation spirals. Some fans connect the alley to an old journal entry he once shared. Others point to a hidden symbol carved into the wall, one that also appeared on his sketchbook during a past photo shoot. Coincidence? Or is Taehyung orchestrating something bigger? Something only the most devoted will ever understand? A moment later in another video, we catch a glimpse of his reflection in a boutique window. He doesn't realize he's being recorded. His brows furrow slightly, and his eyes seem to shimmer, not with the lights of Paris, but with something internal. Was he remembering something? Was that pain? Nostalgia? A secret? Fans don't just watch these videos. They live them. They breathe them. Every shadow, every street lamp, every breath he takes becomes a moment replayed over and over, trying to decipher what's really going on beneath that calm exterior. It's as if Taehyung has become a walking mystery, part poetry, part ghost, part living legend. What shocks many viewers is how real he seems in these uncut clips. This isn't the polished version shown on stages. This isn't the edited perfection of magazine covers. This is Taehyung stripped of all filters, an artist alone in a city that reflects every corner of his soul. The streets of Paris aren't just a setting, they're part of the story. They breathe when he breathes. They ache when he walks away. And then there's the video by the river. It surfaced late one night, uploaded anonymously. No one knows who filmed it. No one knows when exactly it was taken. But it shows Taehyung sitting on the stone edge of the Seine, back turned to the camera, legs dangling above the water. He sits motionless for minutes. Then slowly, almost imperceptibly, he begins to hum. No words, just a soft tune, barely audible. Listeners strained their ears, increased the volume. Some claimed the melody matched an unreleased track he once teased. Others argued it was an old lullaby from his childhood. But why sing it there? Why then? Why alone? Theories abound. Was it for someone who used to sit there with him? A lost memory? A final goodbye? One thing is certain, no one can watch that clip without feeling something shift deep inside. It's not just sound. It's not just motion. It's soul meeting screen. And it doesn't stop there. From a balcony above Montmartre, a fan caught him gazing out over the city as dawn broke through the haze. A pink sky framing his silhouette, hair tousled, hands in his pockets. He looked like a man who had seen too much, felt too much, and still chose to stand tall. For those who believe in fate, the image feels like a message. For those who believe in art, it's a masterpiece. But the biggest shock came when a video revealed Taehyung stepping into a small cafe, one, not listed on any tourist map. He wasn't followed. He wasn't chased. It felt intentional, quiet, meaningful. The cafe owner didn't recognize him at first. Then, as realization dawned, they shared a smile. No words were exchanged. But that smile, that one smile, felt like a universe blooming. Taehyung stayed there for over an hour, and when he left, he took nothing with him, except a single rose left behind on the table. Who was it for? Why that cafe? And why the rose? It's in the smallest gestures that the deepest stories hide. And for fans watching the full videos, it becomes clear. Taehyung wasn't just walking through Paris, he was writing it. With every glance, every footstep, every breath, he etched a narrative into the city's soul. Those who've watched all the footage claim something has changed in them. They feel lighter, or heavier, or both, as if something invisible passed through them. Because Taehyung's journey isn't just visual, it's visceral. And no amount of rewatches can fully explain why tears fall without warning, or why hearts race during the quietest scenes. He is emotion personified. He is a storm cloaked in elegance. He is a symphony of secrets played out across cobblestone streets. And Paris? Paris is now haunted by his presence. Even after he left, the city feels different. Locals mention the sudden quiet after he disappeared. Some cafes keep his table empty, as if waiting for his return. A few artists began painting him without having seen the videos, claiming they were inspired by a feeling, a presence that passed through the air. What does this mean? Or more importantly, what is he coming back for? Because let's be honest, we all feel it, don't we? That this isn't over. That these videos are only the beginning of a much deeper story, one we're all part of now. So we ask you again, have you truly seen them? Have you let yourself fall into those frames? Drown in the moments and come out changed? Because once you do, once you truly see, nothing will ever be the same. And if your heart is pounding like ours is, then hit that like button. If your mind is racing with questions, scroll down and drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're still holding your breath, waiting for what comes next, make sure you subscribe. Because Taehyung's story in Paris is not finished. But can we truly believe that this was just a spontaneous escape? That Taehyung's presence in Paris, so perfectly framed, so deeply felt, so hauntingly timed, was merely coincidence? The more you watch, the more you begin to question everything. The camera angles, the expressions, the silence. It all feels orchestrated, but not by managers or agencies, not by the machinery of stardom, by him. He wanted us to see, but not all at once. That's why the videos are scattered. Some surfaced quickly, while others appeared days later. From accounts with no usernames, no followers, no past activity. As if someone or something was slowly feeding us pieces of a puzzle he designed long ago. A puzzle only those who truly understand him could even begin to solve. In one now legendary clip, Taehyung is seen sitting alone at a park bench just before midnight. The frame is wide, distant, almost like a painting. He sits still, perfectly still, as the wind rustles through the trees behind him. He doesn't move. He doesn't blink. The entire city seems to pause around him, and then he gently lifts a hand to his heart. No one knows what that gesture means. Was he feeling something? Remembering someone? Reaching for something invisible that none of us could see? The comments exploded. Fans wept. Artists painted it. Poets wrote verses about that one simple moment. Some claimed he was saying goodbye to someone long gone. Others believe it was a quiet promise to return. But there were no words, just silence and the overwhelming weight of emotion that doesn't need to be spoken. And then, as if pulled by an unseen force, he stood, turned away, and walked into the shadows. Gone. That's how so many of the full-length videos end. Not with answers, but with departure. And yet it doesn't feel like an end. It feels like a beginning disguised as an exit. A prologue in reverse. As if Taehyung is saying, "You've seen part of me. Now find the rest." Even the fashion he wore during these moments speaks volumes. Gone were the loud logos and eye-catching designs. Instead, he chose simplicity, earth tones, gentle fabrics, oversized coats that whispered instead of screamed, as if he wasn't trying to be noticed, but trying to be felt. Every outfit seemed chosen with care. In one video, he wore a cream-colored trench coat that fluttered in the wind like poetry. In another, a soft charcoal scarf wrapped around his neck as if guarding something precious. Was it comfort? Was it protection? Or was it a metaphor, a symbol of something he can't let go of? There's one clip that still gives viewers chills no matter how many times they watch. Taehyung standing on a rooftop, staring out over Paris as the moonlight bathes the skyline in silver. He doesn't say a word. He simply breathes. The air around him still, the night too quiet, And then he sings, not loudly, not to impress, just softly, just for him. Just enough for those watching to catch a fleeting whisper of the melody. A lullaby? A verse from an unreleased track? A memory we'll never know. But in that one moment, the boundary between artist and audience disappeared. We weren't just watching Taehyung, we were feeling him. And then came the final sequence, the one that broke the internet. A full compilation was released suddenly, unedited, almost 20 minutes long. It stitched together every known sighting, from cafes to bookstores, from quiet alleyways to grand boulevards. But what made it different was what came after the known clips. Footage no one had ever seen, angles no one recognized, intimate moments that felt impossible to have been recorded. Taehyung walking barefoot in the grass at dawn. Taehyung pressing his hand against a foggy glass window and tracing. A shape, half a heart. Taehyung standing in front of a mural, tears silently streaming down his face. And then him smiling. A real, whole, warm smile that crumbled walls and ignited hearts. But the final frame is what shook us all. A note, folded in half, left on a piano bench inside a small, hidden Parisian studio. The camera zooms in slowly until the words come into focus, written in soft ink. If you understand, you already have the answer, V. And just like that, the screen faded to black. No outro, no explanation, no credits, just silence. And 1,000 tears falling behind phone screens around the world. So now we turn to you. Do you understand? Did you feel it? Did you see what Taehyung wanted to show you, not with words, but with being? If you did, you're not alone. The world is still reeling. Fans are still gathering clues. Emotions still hang heavy in the air. Paris will never be the same. Neither will we. So comment below. Tell us what you saw, what you felt, what you believe is really going on. Like this story if your heart ached in even one scene. And hit that subscribe button, because this story isn't over. It's only just beginning. And wherever Taehyung goes next, we'll be watching, we'll be feeling, we'll be waiting. But how do you move on from something that never truly ended? Since the release of the full video compilation, fans across the world have confessed to experiencing something they can't quite explain. It's more than admiration. It's more than love. It's as if Taehyung opened a door inside of us and now we can't close it. People are re-watching the videos daily, not to observe, but to feel. They say it brings them peace and sometimes pain. Some say they cry without knowing why. Others say they finally feel seen. Why would a single person walking through a city leave such an imprint on millions? What did he awaken in us? One theory among fans has taken root and refuses to let go. It's not about Paris. It's not even about the videos. It's about time. They believe Taehyung is trying to capture something we've all lost, the present moment. The feeling of being fully alive in the now, of breathing and meaning it, in an age of noise, distraction, and performative perfection. Taehyung in Paris is a rebellion against it all. He didn't shout. He didn't post. He didn't stage anything. He simply existed, and we felt it. We felt him. Some fans believe this was his message all along, that the full videos are his silent manifesto, each scene a paragraph, each sigh a sentence, each glance a word whispered to those who care enough to pay attention, not with their eyes, but with their hearts. And yet, even now, the footage continues to unfold. More clips have emerged, a small bookstore tucked between two cafes where Taehyung was seen reading alone for nearly an hour. The store owner later said he didn't buy anything, but he smiled as he left, leaving behind a flower pressed between the pages of a French novel. Was it a message? A goodbye? A clue? Then there's the footage of him dancing under an old streetlight near Rue de Martyr. No music, no audience. Just him, swaying gently to a rhythm only he could hear, arms stretched upward, eyes closed, heart open. The clip is only 15 seconds long, but in that time, he somehow said more than words ever could. Freedom, surrender, joy, longing, it's all there. And perhaps that's what makes this experience so impossible to forget. Taehyung didn't come to Paris to perform. He came to be, and in doing so he invited us to do the same, to pause, to feel, to remember what it means to be human. Because every frame of those videos reminds us of something we've been taught to forget, that silence is beautiful, that presence is powerful, that vulnerability is sacred. One fan wrote, watching him walk through, Paris makes me want to walk through my own city differently, slower, softer, kinder. Like maybe the world isn't just something to survive, but something to feel again. And isn't that the ultimate impact? Isn't that the mark of a true artist, not just to entertain, but to change how we see the world around us? It's no longer just about Paris, it's about everywhere. It's about every time you look up from your phone and feel the sky. Every time you notice the warmth in someone's eyes. Every time you walk a little slower, breathe a little deeper, love a little harder. Taehyung didn't just leave memories in Paris. He left an invitation to see the world differently, to live differently. And now the question isn't what he was doing there. The real question is, what will you do with what he left behind? Because the journey doesn't end when the screen fades to black. It begins in what happens after, in what stirs inside you, in how you carry that feeling into your own days, your own moments, your own silences. Some fans have even started recreating his Paris journey, not to chase him, but to understand him.